Hello and welcome to the Joy Dealers podcast, where we talk about emotional healing and inner work in general. Today I want to talk about our last Women's Circle topic, which was transformation and integration. And I want to share a bit about why I put these two topics together. Because often we are very keen on jumping into transformative processes like picking up a new meditation practice or going to a retreat or a workshop about inner child work or wherever your soul pulls you. But then we spend a little too little time on the integration process of these sometimes really intense contents that come up for us. And this is why it was important for me that when we are starting to do inner work and when we are starting to go into our own emotional healing journey, that we are familiar and mindful of the fact that for the transformative process to really be sustainable and keep on in our lives, there is a big part of it that is the integration process of the change that we are hoping to establish in our lives, the changing of patterns, the changing of subconscious beliefs, of limiting beliefs. And I want to talk a bit about how we could successfully integrate these transformations in our lives. For that, sometimes it can be helpful to have someone that follows up with you and that keeps you accountable, but also hears your struggles if you feel like your integration isn't successful and you keep falling back into old patterns. Also to really assess and analyze why the integration of a transformation wasn't successful and why you kept falling back. And also understanding that inner work and emotional healing isn't always linear. On the contrary, it's usually, as they say, 2 steps forward and 1 step backward. So it can sometimes also be reassuring to see that it's really normal that sometimes we take a bit longer to integrate something. But I think that the most important aspect of it is to really give yourself the time and the space to integrate, to digest. And also the time down afterwards, not to jump into the next transformation process already, because paradoxically, this can stand in the way of actually a transformation being sustainable and being integrated, is when we jump from one retreat to the next without giving ourselves the time and the leeway to really integrate what it is that we are hoping to transform. So I hope that this gave you some food for reflection and seeing what it is maybe that we are avoiding actually to integrate. Because funnily enough, sometimes this way we avoid certain topics, avoid certain change or transformation in our lives by not giving ourselves enough space and not giving ourselves enough quiet time to digest and to integrate, and instead jump into the next topic, convincing ourselves that change is constant and that we need to be changing all of the time. Yeah, take a really close look to maybe also thoughts or patterns of unworthiness, of understanding that you are fully worthy to receive to receive the changes and to integrate them into your life in a sustainable way, and to really also get the most out of these wonderful retreats that you go to, is that you give yourself the respect and the space to really digest what it is that you brought out of your retreat and out of your subconscious. And never to hesitate also to go and find someone that can hold you if you feel like you've been pulled apart and are not able to function anymore. And not to feel ashamed about that. Sometimes these processes, they can really, really devastate us, and it's not shameful at all to go and find help, even just with a friend, and to talk about it, maybe with a like-minded friend that also goes to these kind of retreats, and share with them how vulnerable or how open-hearted you feel at the moment, and how it is also sometimes good to retreat and find ways to close up a little bit again, because walking around fully vulnerable and fully open can sometimes be overwhelming, especially if we're not used to it, and especially if we've been armored up for a long time. Then it takes some adjustment and some transitioning, some integration to be able to walk around like that all of the time. So if you feel like you need help integrating certain topics or navigating through more difficult topics, and you didn't have that support from the retreat holder, feel free to message me at amira@thejoydealers.com, or find me on Facebook or Instagram. I'd be very, very honored and happy to work with you. So much love to you.